House Bill 554, Representative McMakin. Ms. Williams.
Mr. Chairman, members, House Bill 554 by Representative McMakin established a notice of voting restriction and a restriction code applicable to persons who are not United States citizens and aliens lawfully present in the United States but have not attained United States citizenship.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Mr. McMakin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members, bringing this bill today on behalf of our Attorney General, Liz Muriel, and also in support with Secretary of State Nancy Landry for voters and for our ID cards that we give out in the state of Louisiana, and be happy to answer any questions. Seeing no questions, Mr. Chairman, we can move into final passage.
That's a nice try. If it has your name on it, it's just, sometimes controversial maybe. We do have cards present in support, not wishing to speak. Nancy Landry, Mary Susie Labrie, Deborah Melvin. We have a card not present but in support, a blue card from AG Liz Murrell. We have cards present. We'll provide information if requested. Ms. Torella Ragas and Carrie Jones. Any questions for the author, members? We're going to get into the cards in opposition. Present, would like to speak. Carrie Rowland, Megan Sheehan, him with the last name? Okay. Tia Fields, Evelyn Lascano, Reverend Richardson, Jennifer Corwell, Lady Carlson. Present in opposition, not wishing to speak, Linda Walker, Lorinda Seeley, Mary Michael, Reverend Broadhurst, Cree Matlock, Keith Duplichan, Cheryl Duplichan, Kelly Ward, Edgar Cage, Marianne Mushat, Irene Cato, Soledad Santiago, Sarah Hay, Allison White. Tell you what, ma'am, go ahead with your testimony. We'll read those in.
Thank you, and I will brief because I know you guys have to get to the House floor. Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Tia Fields. I'm a policy associate for LORI, which is the Louisiana Organization for Refugees and Immigrants, as well as the chair for the Political Action Committee with the NAACP, both the state and Baton Rouge branch. As I was reviewing this bill, the first thing that came to my mind was questioning who were your ancestors during 1865 in the Jim Crow era, and not just those who are sitting in front of me, but those who are in the space. Curious to know if you guys were a part of the class that upheld white supremacy and oppressive state tactics, or were you on the other end that received the terror and trauma that this bill would bring forth? As we know, history does not just live in the books, they live in our human bodies. And today you're writing that next chapter. I'm here to provide you guys with some historical concepts on how the Jim Crow era and this bill is really correlating to what was going on during that time, and to, of course, strongly oppose that you guys reconsider. Not strongly oppose that you guys reconsider. I hope that you guys oppose this. So after the Civil War, Louisiana passed the Black Codes, where Black people were forced to carry freedom papers or be locked up and leased back to the plantations. They called that public safety. Jim Crow was the same playbook. The papers to vote, the papers to move, the papers to live. Your skin, where's your crime? That's receipt number 2. World War I and II, they over-policed Black neighborhoods under the excuse of national security. Receipt number 3. The so-called war on drugs, the stop and frisk, it was always Black communities slammed the hardest. Receipt number 4. After 9/11, Muslim and Black immigrants shoved into tracking systems, guilty by association. That's receipt number 5. Now today, House Bill 554, a mark, a restriction, a scarlet letter. They say it's about integrity, but history tells the truth. It's about control. You build the system today, and we already know who they'll use it against tomorrow. Black neighborhoods, immigrant families, our beautiful LGBTQIA families, all of us. So every time they say safety, it means surveillance. Every time they say neutral, it means racial targeting. Every time they say it's not about you, history proved that it is. There are so many different things that I wish that I would have had the opportunity to meet with the author to go through this bill to see exactly what they intend to do without creating more harm and fear in the immigrant communities that are here legally and lawfully. But I wasn't given that opportunity, and I just oppose upon you guys today to reconsider and oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The board is clear. Representative McMakin? Representative Chasson, is your question for Tia? If you don't mind. Representative Chasson.
My apologies. So I need you to help me with something. Help me, because this is a touchy subject when it comes to African Americans. Am I missing something in this? What are you seeing? So I understand the culture, I understand the history of it, I understand the way it was used as a weapon before. Mm-hmm. But as far as now in this current climate, just currently now,
yes,
present day, what do you see as a result of, if this passes and the governor signs, it passes the Senate, what do you see happening? Because, it's my understanding that if you're not a United States citizen and are considered an illegal alien, you won't have these rights in the first place. I thought when I first read it, I thought it was redundant in the first place.
You are correct when it comes to not having legal status.
Okay.
What this bill tends to do is to target those who are here lawfully. That is your green card holders. Those are the people that are DACA recipients, your TPS, your student learners who are here on student visas. And the reason why this is concerning is because by flagging a person's immigration status, that they're not from this country, but they're here lawfully, it poses a bigger threat just in the Department of Transportation. It's looking at racial profiling when they go and apply for benefits or services, if they're applying for an apartment, if they have children with mixed statuses, meaning that while the parent may be here on a protected status, the child is born here in the United States. And that child should have every right given to them as a U.S. citizen. So the issue to me with this bill is that it goes far and on beyond just notification. It is an avenue of racial profiling or ethnic profiling leading to xenophobia.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So is it not currently the case that someone who doesn't classify as a citizen would not be able to attain that state ID anyway? I feel like I'm missing something. I want to understand your point, but I'm still having trouble.
That's inaccurate.
Okay.
He's not in a space to testify, but I do have a colleague here that is a green card holder,
okay,
meaning they went through the correct processes to be documented here.
Okay.
They do have a driver's license.
Okay. So in that situation, this law would have stopped them from getting?
No, it labels them, it targets them. So with all the other bills that are being proposed when it comes to anti-immigration, this is another one that will curtail further racial discrimination, over policing in certain neighborhoods. And I can paint this picture for you now. If I have a notification on my ID, it's the same thing that a person that is a registered sex offender and they go somewhere and they have to show documentation, the type of response that they get from the systems that they're trying to get services from, they may already be
viewed differently?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, all right.
And then there was another part of the bill about the voting notifications. Why I really appreciate the fact that they included language access to have those other 6 languages. That's already in law. I wish I had other experts here to speak to how many actual non-citizens attempt to register to vote and actually try to go and vote. I'm almost 100% certain that number is under 5%, at least here in Baton Rouge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. McMakin. In opposition, not wishing to speak, George Lascano, Daniel Castellanos, Martha Aguera, Dan DeCisse, Noel Naji, Achiri Aye, Anthony Daisy, Frankie Roberts, Annie Sheehan Dean, I believe, Mona Line Gang. You have a right to close.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members. Appreciate the testimony today. But
Hold on, Representative Phelps,
Yeah. I have a question. Hold
we
on.
were on close.
I know, I pushed it before you started on close. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Based on the current law, Representative McMakin, I'm trying to find my note here. What was the reason for the bill? Thank you.
So the reason for the bill from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State's office, is for the integrity of our voting systems and for ID cards that are issued in our state of Louisiana. I think it's a lot of clarification of our law and trying to make sure that the people are here, are who they are, what they say they are, and everything to go for protection of our citizens.
Okay. So were there instances they were trying to address, the Attorney General's office, you're saying they were trying to address violations?
Whether it's violations, perceived violations, anything like that, yes, ma'am.
Maybe the word. Okay, so help me understand. I wasn't able to speak to the fact that someone who's here and has a driver's license need to prove their citizenship before getting a license. Can you just sum up
Yeah, so
that? And I guess that wasn't a problem. I wasn't aware that the reason for the bill in that sense.
yeah, I would say it's pretty on page 1 of 3 at the bottom there. Officer of motor vehicles shall not issue a state identification card or driver's license, regardless of class, to any person who's not either a citizen of the United States or an alien lawfully present in the United States. An alien who is lawfully present in the United States but has not attained citizenship may be issued a state identification card or driver's license, but the same state identification card or driver's license must meet the restriction code. So that
Okay,
part
so
of the law.
what was happening? Yeah.
So that's what it is, and I have current director of DMV is here as well, Brian Adams, to clarify that. But it's just trying to clarify the differences between those cards and how you go about getting those and who you are and what that represents in our system of the database.
Okay, so again, walk me through what was happening when they were getting an identification card. They were getting one, they weren't. What is the difference? Because I was thinking if they were not a citizen, they were not getting an ID card or a driver's license or being able to vote.
I think the difference would be going forward is just a clarification of the differences of where they are in the cards, of what they look like, and also using the LA Wallet app that we use here in the state of Louisiana as well, so we can know kind of where that person fits inside of it, if they are a voter, not a voter, if they are a full-time driver, not a full-time driver, alien, not alien, and things like that.
So were aliens able to get identification card prior?
You can still get one, yes, ma'am, prior, yes, ma'am.
The present law, they were able to get one.
Correct, right, Brian? Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we don't want them to get one.
No, they're still getting them, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You want to,
So,
I mean,
yeah, I think you
Brian
have to come
up
to
and-
the table.
Sorry.
And I understand the perceived things and speculations and all of these things that we're trying to alleviate.
Do you need that?
I guess I just want to be able to understand what was the problem that we're not trying to fix. I guess we do that a lot as well.
So currently,
Please introduce yourself for the record.
Torella Ragas, Office of Motor Vehicles.
Thank you, ma'am.
So currently, we only issue if you have legal presence. So aliens do get driver's license with or identification card. What this bill would put a restriction on it so that Secretary of State would know that they're restricted from voting.
Okay, so were there instances where they were able to vote? kind of one of the
They
questions.
I cannot speak to that.
Okay.
I'm not Secretary of State. They should not, I mean, currently you're not allowed to.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yes, ma'am.
We did read in a card of support from Secretary of State Nancy Landry, for the record.
So, Rep. Phelps, if I could, I just got a text from the Office of Secretary of State, was in some of our elections, right, some of those things are very close, and we do have some people that are ineligible to vote that are on those rolls, and actually, there will be, I believe, some Secretary of State language added maybe later in the process. I'm not sure yet. They are working with their office right now to try to clarify that and to have that communication between the offices more to help with this situation.
Okay, so this is speculative situations. Like there has not been any persons who were not eligible to vote that voted.
I don't think any one of us can answer that question, but I think someone's coming down from the Secretary of State's office to help
Okay.
answer that question. Or maybe they're here now? No? That's not them.
It's not him right there in the
Okay,
red tie.
that's. I really wasn't able to articulate the reason for the bill. I still don't know if I understand, other than we're trying to prevent something in the future. If it has not been a problem with everything else, I just wanted clarification of why they need to fit in a certain box, alert the Attorney General's office because they have an ID, they are legally here. I mean, I still don't have that very clear, and I guess I forgot your last name already.
Adams.
Mr. Adams.
So
You're
I'm
not.
I'm the OMV commissioner. I'm not from the Secretary of State's office or the AG's office, so I can't.
I understand. That's what I was going to say, Mr. Adams. So you're not able to answer that
I
question.
cannot, no.
So, and yet, what you are aware of already in your role, persons getting an ID were eligible to get an ID.
That's correct.
Okay. And the part about the voting is a separate issue that you're not aware or can speak to.
I cannot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rep. Phelps, we do have somebody down from the Secretary of State's office, but they have told me that just recently they removed 48 non-citizens from the rolls. And so you talked about, are we legislating a bill that might happen in the future or something like that? No, it is happening, and this is trying to help relieve that situation.
And I don't know how they became a non-citizen. I mean, without knowing the background, we have narratives all the time. So I'm just trying to see exactly what this is designed to do. And that means a lot. Non-citizens were removed. How were they before? Did they expire? We haven't heard a concern that those are things that slipped through the crack for a very long time. So that's just my opinion for the record. Thank you, though.
Thank you, Rep. Phelps. Okay, the board is clear. Representative Tarver has moved to report House Bill 554 favorably. Are there any objections? We have an objection. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Bourriaque? Yes. Representative Boyer? Yes. Yes. Representative Breaux? Representative Chasson? Yes. Yes. Representative Dickerson? Yes. Yes. Representative Fontenot?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Jackson? Representative Moore? Representative Phelps? No. Representative Shammerhorn?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Spell?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Tarver?
Yes.
Yes. Representative Walters? Representative Wiley?
Yes.
Yes. 9 yeas and 1 nay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, members.
Thank you, Rep. McMakin.